everybody, this is Brian at MA-Motorsports. We are going to walk you around our client Mike's R33 GTR here behind me. We did quite a fair amount of work to it at one point in time, cleaning up the engine bay, fixing a bunch of stuff on it, and also upgrading his turbo kit from like a really old dated Greddy T88 to a more modern Garrett G-Series turbo. Also, we rebuilt his HKS dog box, 6-speed H-pattern dog box. Chris here completely rebuilt it, refreshed every part of it, and we are going to reinstall that now. He's been driving around on a stock gearbox, so we are going to swap in the HKS dog box and take this thing for a spin. It should be a monster. All right, Mike's had this GTR for a couple years. He actually imported it from the UK, and beast of a car. Again, it had a HKS dog box in it already. It had big Greddy turbo and quite a few other upgrades, and it's a really clean car too. And I don't think there's really any rust on this car. Under the hood, originally Greddy T88, old school tech. We got rid of that. G35 1050 we installed with an R-Tech manifold. We made all new lines, made him a nice 3.5-inch downpipe, made him a new intake pipe, modified the hot pipe, cleaned up some other items in here, polished this cool old Apexy radiator, polished up his Greddy plenum for him, tidied up some work that it already had done when it showed up to us, installed all new timing components. This engine had like no timing covers at all, so we got all new timing components. While we were at it, we installed PRP cam and crank trigger, and a fresh pair of PRP cam gears as well, just to keep debris out of there. Everything was all rusty, so we put all new components in there, put some covers on it so it'll stay nice and clean and debris free. Car's running on a Haltech, and it's about 800 horsepower car. We'll take you for a drive in it shortly after we get the new gearbox installed. Here's that HKS dog box I was referring to. We completely refreshed it. Chris here did an awesome job piecing everything together, finding all the parts required, which was quite a scenario as these things are long discontinued. We vapor honed the cases, the bell housing, cleaned everything up really well. We kept all the original hardware with it. All new, almost everything had to be replaced in this thing. Input shaft, almost every gear, almost every dog. We got some help from Hollinger USA. So they used to make an iteration of this for HKS, and so they were able to custom make the gears. It took months to get all the gears, but everything fit perfectly, at least with minor modification, if any at all. So that was a real lifesaver. Otherwise, this very cool gearbox would have ended up being scrap metal. This little piece here I took off is for the ATS clutch he has. So the Hollinger / HKS box uses a 26 spline GM style input shaft versus the factory Nissan 24 spline. So you have to use a different hub for the clutch. So that's all we have to change. We keep his original ATS carbon triple plate clutch and just swap this hub out. So that's easy. Here's a 3.5-inch downpipe we made for him, connected to his existing exhaust. Wastegate dump, big 60mm wastegate. And we put a brand new original R33 GTR transmission in it temporarily while we waited to get the parts to rebuild the other one. We had cleaned up and vapor honed his original transfer case here, so everything's looking fresh together. At Mike's request, and after we had put the new gearbox in, we put it back on the dyno to turn the boost up a few more pounds for him. All right, it's road test time. Gonna take Mike's car out for a drive, make sure gearbox and everything works. We know it works. Chris already test drove it, honestly, but I gotta make sure it works. Mike's car is pretty damn nice. 88,000 kilometers on the cluster. Assuming that's true, just based on how clean this thing is. Pretty nice. Series 1, purplish blue trim in there. And we did all this work for him here. We relocated his HVAC down here. This is controls for the Atessa, so you can adjust how much front and rear split you have. And then we mounted the Haltech IC7 here, which is nice and handy. We didn't want to block the factory gauges, so we put it over here. And then he has like a Bluetooth control for a radio that he keeps in there and controls everything from his phone. So it works out pretty good. As you can see, Mike's car rips. Probably about 800 wheel horsepower, 6-speed dog box transmission. It's pretty fun to shift. You really have to, with any dog engagement gearbox, you have to be really sure to shift extremely fast. If you shift slow, you are going to catch the dogs and wear them out. So ideally, the faster you shift, the more longevity. You know, it might seem counterintuitive, but the harder you shift and faster you shift, the longer your dog box is going to last. Another GTR out the door. Mike's car is an exceptionally good running and driving car. The fact that it makes big power, has a dog box, and just generally is a tight, good driving car makes it top notch overall. If you're interested in any work done to your Skyline or Skyline GTR, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We work on these cars quite often, have a lot of parts in stock, have a lot of resources for them, and are obviously well versed in aftermarket and high performance upgrades for them. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, check out our other videos, and stay tuned for more. Thanks.